Hey guys, Coach Zahabi here at one of my favorite breakfast places. I know you don't often see me in the restaurants. The reason why I'm here today and filming this video is because I haven't been in this place in 2 years since the lockdown. And this place, before the quarantines here in Quebec, was jam-packed on Thursdays. I've been coming here for over 10 years. I love this place. It's called Tutti Fruitti on Daniel Johnson, that's right. I'm here with the owner. Guys, I want to introduce you, Garo. Daniel Johnson's Tutti Fruitti, one of the top menus. Guys, I've had breakfast all over the world. I travel all the time. This is one of the top places you can eat. Pancakes, eggs, everything done professionally. Very good price. I just had a feast for 20 bucks. An amazing place to eat. And I was watching this place. I'm like, man, it's so dead. What happened to this place? Of course, the quarantine shutdowns, killing Quebec business. And I said, hey, Garo, let's sit down and just chat about it. Some people are not interested in this, no problem. You could flip the channel. For those of you who are interested in this topic, stay tuned because we're going to be talking about what happened here in Quebec, what happened to businesses. And thriving businesses like this are now on, what would you say? They're on their deathbed almost, would you say?
Almost there, man.
Almost there, guys. Paying rent out of pocket. We have to borrow from the government. Now when we borrow from the government, guess what? We got to pay him back with interest. We got to pay the government back with interest. So basically, who owns our businesses now? They own our businesses now. They've printed $500 billion in Canada. $500 billion. Pierre Poilievre reported they've now printed or borrowed, because we don't know exactly what they did, $500 billion. Our businesses are dying. They're getting richer. The rich have gotten richer by 40%. We have a star, my waitress today, the star of the show. Thank you for breakfast, by the way. Un gros merci.
Je suis dans la vidéo.
Ben oui, t'es dans la vidéo. T'es le star.
Ben oui, tranquille. Là. Si je veux dire, non, pas demain.
Non, pas pour maintenant.
Laissez-vous, je m'en vais. Au revoir.
Oui, au revoir.
Faire du shopping pour les vacances.
Merci. Bonne journée.
Salut.
Thank you.
Businesses like us have been getting killed for what? Well, some people are going to say, look, we're helping the transmission. We're helping stopping the transmission of COVID. We're saving lives. That's not really true. I don't really believe it. You know, to be honest with you, here in Quebec, it's all quarantine theater. It's just pretend. Businesses like ours, we get fined, we get shut down. You guys saw me. I was on the front page of the newspaper last year. Why? They raided my gym. They had 7 or 8 cop cars surrounding my building. We're just like 20 guys in the building, training professionals. We live there. Our home address was the gym. And still I got a fine. I was perfectly within my rights. I still got 4 fines. I'm at 4 fines now. I'm fighting them all. But the government stores, all open. The mall is open. All the big box stores, all the big companies that pay the big taxes, their businesses are immune. Walmart, the malls, the metro station, the bus station, all these things are, you know, if you wanted to circulate COVID, you know what I would do? Keep the metro open. Put people in a tube, zigzag them around town. Mix them all together in a tube, zigzag them around town. Let people who are sick mix with people who are healthy, because you don't know who's sick, who's not, who's carrying the virus, who's not. Mix them around underground. That's the best place for COVID to transmit. Underground, no fresh air. And then set them on their way, mix and match them. But at 8 o'clock, everybody has to be home. You know, we have these ridiculous rules that make no sense whatsoever, completely illogical. And Legault, he tells us, no debates, no public debates. We're not allowed to have public debate. And it's frustrating for business owners.
It's very tough, man.
Who pays the rent? Who pays the rent for you here? I can tell you guys, Garo's pissed, guys. Garo is pissed. He knows it. We all know who pays the rent. The business owners, we pay out of pocket. We're paying out of pocket, all in the name of saving lives. Oh, I'm all for saving lives, Garo. You would say yes to saving lives?
Of course.
Okay, close the government business. Our businesses are closed, government business is open. Guys, if that's not bullshit, I had to say those words. I know there's a lot of kids, my kids watch this channel. That's bullshit. You know what? That's the truth. That's the one sentiment I could tell you that's fitting for this conversation. The government is bullshitting the people, robbing the people. He ain't closed. Guys, Quebec is not closed. Quarantine is a facade. It's theater. It's only guys like us suffering. The mall, their public spaces, their areas, all open. Till very recently, if you wanted to buy booze, you didn't need a passport. You didn't need a quarantine passport. You know, here we have passports. If you want to come to a restaurant,
you can't come in if you don't have your
can't come in if you're not vaccinated. Can't come in. So, okay, fine, fair rule. But not if you go to a government business, such as the SAC, to buy alcohol. So the government here sells the alcohol, sells the #1 drug, and then of course he sells the marijuana. But You didn't need a passport for his business. No, because that would hurt his business 30, 40%. No, his business, you can't touch it. What happens after that? Okay, people complained, and then they said, okay, fine, we'll play ball with everybody. We're going to have quarantine passports as well. Just constant, nonsensical, moronic rules. And here's the worst group, in my opinion. The people who tell us, hey, we're the problem. No, the government is virtuous. The government is correct. We want to save lives. Guys, open your eyes. There's no quarantine in Quebec. I can go to the mall right now. I have to stand 45 minutes in line.
Just to get in the store.
I have to stand in line crowded with people, and then I can get in the store. When I'm in the store, they distance us. But outside the store, in the mall, they put you like in a little mosh pit for 45 minutes. How is that quarantined? How is that distancing?
There's no social distancing, man.
There's no social distancing, guys. Before you get on a plane, you have to social distance. Then you get on the plane, you're packed in a little tube, and you sit there on the tarmac for 35 minutes, 45 minutes. We're all tested. We're all vaccinated to fly, and we have to be tested 24 hours before flying out. Yet they still want to have us do this quarantine theater, this quarantine dance, and it's become crazy, hasn't it? People here become crazy.
Tell you, man.
Guys, I went to pick up sushi the other day. The guy was behind a plexiglass, like a glass.
Give me a second.
And go ahead, no problem. And he wanted me to put on my mask, but I was 10 feet away from him. I wasn't picking up the food. I was dropping off my cousin. And my cousin was going to make the transaction. He was paying for it. And I was 10 feet away from him. The guy stopped working. He's like, sir, you have to put on your mask. I was like, dude, I'm going to stay 10 feet from you. Don't worry about it. No, there's a pandemic going on. Okay, there's a pandemic going on. You're behind a plexiglass. I told him, I'm not going to put on my mask. The guy gave us the food. He wanted the money. He wanted his money. We gave him the money. The man was under no danger whatsoever. I told him I'm going to stay by the door. I'm not coming in. That guy was still frustrated. He was still angry with me. He wanted to fight with me. He wanted to get angry. Okay. I'll leave the restaurant. I won't even complete my purchase. The other thing is they want me to check people's passports at my gym. I am not a government agent. I'm not trained to do. I don't even know how to check somebody's passport. I'm an ignoramus when it comes to technology. I know nothing. I have no idea. If somebody comes to my gym, I have to go by the goodwill. I have to say, you know what, that guy must be vaccinated. That's the rules. I don't know. I'm not a paid. Did they train you on how to check passports?
They didn't even come and see us.
I have no idea. I have no idea how to do it. Anyways, guys, all this to say, please come support my buddy's business, Garo's business here. If you're in the neighborhood, if you're in Montreal, if you're in Laval, come check out Tutti Fruitti on Daniel Johnson. Guys, support your local restaurant businesses. Go out, spend a little cheddar on these poor businesses that are getting killed. This quarantine theater, this madness, this mass psychosis. People have become crazy with the COVID. Listen, they want my kids to wear masks in school forever. I'm fighting it as much as I can. I don't want my kids wearing masks in school. I personally don't believe it helps them. I think it hurts them. I think that long term, if my kids are wearing masks, they're going to develop all sorts of problems with their environment. Let them become accustomed to their environment. The death rate came out in April last year in Canada for 19 and younger. You know what it was? You know what it was?
No.
0.0. There's a lot of doctors out there that are anti-masks for children. But the worst thing of all in Quebec is we're not allowed public debate. And I don't want to debate. I'm not an expert in this. I want doctors to debate. I want doctors to go on TV. I want them to go on social media and debate Legault's sanitary measures. Are we really in quarantine? Or is this just an act? It's all theater. Some of it makes sense, like I'll admit. There are studies that show wearing masks reduces transmission. Okay, I believe in masks. I believe vaccines work. There's studies that show that most people with vaccines, the vast majority, they don't die from it. They don't die from the disease. Okay, I'm for it. But a lot of our sanitary measures in Quebec, I'm talking about Quebec, across Canada, of course, is just pure insanity. It's just pure insanity. It's just, people have become crazy. Slippery, butterfingers. Not only I don't know anything about technology, I also have butterfingers. Guys, I think I'm supporting my local businesses. I hope you do too. And I hope this psychosis, the truckers have really made a difference. Like it or not, the politicians here have changed their tune. Legault came out shortly after. He's like, hey guys, we can't be so divided. We got to make peace with each other. Let's start lifting some measures. The truckers, guys, I fully support the truckers. I think they're doing the right thing. I think 10 years from now, we're going to look back at the insanity You know, I go to the US regularly. Life is normal. Life is normal. Even I think the truckers got to Fauci. Fauci's saying, hey guys, we're past the, what was it again? He said, we're past the epidemic phase. We're past the, I don't want to misquote him here, but he said, look, we're past the hard part now. It's going to get easier. Why? I think they're scared of the truckers. I think the truckers, you only need a small amount of truckers to block the roads. Just like the government shut us down, they're shutting him down.
They did.
They shut him down. Listen, we know, Legault said it. He said, look, we know what COVID does, we got to live with it. You have to assess your own personal assessment. Should I go to that Christmas party? Should I participate in these gatherings? Do I have comorbidity? Am I obese? Am I vaccinated? I have to. They know, we have the information. Why should we imprison the entire population? Why not just make a program for those who are actually in danger? You know who's in danger? Elderly, obese, comorbidity. If you're in that category, I'm all for paying taxes and helping them, making a program that isolates them, takes care of them, whatever the doctors say, do it. But one thing I'm not for is for young, healthy guys like us to go broke, to be bankrupt, to be pushed out into the street, and how many years have you been working in the restaurant business?
12 years.
12 years. I've been in the gym business 20 years. I'm not giving it up to the government. There's no way in hell. Listen, you're going to bury me into the ground. You're going to bury me in the ground before I give up my business. When they close, I'll close. When they close the mall, I'll close. When they close their businesses, I'll close my business. Till then, if your business is open, my business is open. That's the attitude all Quebecers should take, all Canadians should take. And I'm no government agent. Are you a government agent?
No, man.
I don't get paid from the government. I don't police people. You think I'm a police? I ain't no police. And if the police come, I'm going to give them hell. That's the way it is, man. That's the way it is. And that's civil disobedience. In a legal, non-violent way, we should ask for proof for these measures. Because the truth of the matter is, Quebecers, you're being fooled. You're being played. You're being crushed economically. The rich got richer. Pfizer and Moderna are making $65,000 a second. Look it up, $65,000 a second. They were showing a mask company on the internet the other day. They did a news report. They're making $2 million a day, the maskers. The people selling masks, making $2 million a day. I'm flying out later today. You don't have to pay for a test. The labs are making more money than ever. There's people making money off this. They're not gonna stop the party until you people raise your voices. Make sure you raise your voice. Tell them you're fed up. The truckers, I fully support you. I don't support racism. I don't support any type of bigotry whatsoever. Canadians, we're one of the least racist countries in the world. We're one of the most accepting people in the world. This has nothing to do with racism. They're trying to frame it as some kind of like Ku Klux, flu klux. It's all BS. Here, we're here for our freedoms, our business, our right to make money, just like the government's making money. Garo, are you ready to fully reopen?
Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
Restaurants is hard to reopen because you know why? It's the customer that complains. If you don't check their passport, the customer that calls the cops. Not even the cops. It's the customer. The police. The police. When I talk to them, they're not interested in bothering us. They say, "Do your thing, man. We're not here for. We're not here to bother you unless somebody calls the cops." And that's what it is. People call the cops on one another. We have a snitch culture. Anyways, I'm reopened the 14th. Guys, you're all welcome. You're all welcome to come train. I'm reopened the 14th, legally reopened. And we have all sorts of rules and measures, but eventually we're going to be fully reopened, I think, because the truckers are making noise in Ottawa. I fully support them. I'm behind them. And I know a lot of Canadians are against that, but I think they have their opinion, we have ours. Let's see who can gather more support. It's a fair competition from between us. Now, here's the other thing. A lot of people out there, they're for mandates. Okay. When the truckers blow the doors open, I want you all out there to self-mandate. Don't come out. Don't you dare put a comment in this video here and start telling me that hey, the mandates are good and they're protecting people. No. When the mandates are lifted, because we're gonna blow the doors open. You self-mandate. You wear your mask forever. You wear that mask until COVID is no more. And you stay in your basement and you hide away, even without the subsidies. I want you to do it without those little checks coming home. Because you're for virtue, you're for truth, you're for killing COVID, you're for protecting others. I want you to self-quarantine for the extent of COVID, until COVID is eradicated. Because that's the criticism we get. We're costing lives. Guys, COVID is not the biggest killer. Heart disease is the biggest killer. And guess who fights heart disease? Healthy breakfast and fitness. You need us, okay? Legault did the opposite. Legault closed all the gyms and he kept the fast food open. Guess what? The number one killer around the world. What's the number one killer around the world? Heart disease. Guys like me and Garo, we keep you healthy and alive, my friend. We keep you healthy, alive. We give you healthy choices. All you got is fast food. When they close Garo down, how are you going to get a healthy breakfast? No, now you got to go get McDonald's. You got to go get Burger King. Legault wants to make you obese. He wants to make you fat. And guess who COVID kills? COVID kills the obese. Guess what happens to people who eat fast food for a prolonged period of time? They get disease. They get comorbidity. Use your brain. Use your intellect. Be healthy. Take care of your own health. Protect yourself from COVID. Personal responsibility. The government has done nothing. Guys, the statistics are out. Quarantine measures have prevented only 0.2 death. 0.2. And 2% for transmission. The numbers, quarantine numbers are in and they're super ineffective. Quarantine measures, 8 o'clock curfew and all that BS didn't make a difference in the least. I hope business owners speak out. I hope you guys support this video and I hope you guys come and have a good breakfast here at Tutti Frutti and mention that you saw this video. Maybe you get a free coffee or a free whatever. And Garo, I hope your business is thriving like it used to be once upon a time. And you know what?
Man. Thank you for your support for us.
Very happy to. And let me tell you one more thing that pisses me off. I almost forgot to mention. Legault shut down restaurants the day before New Year's Eve. If he wanted to screw over the restaurant business, he couldn't have done it better. He waited till they hired staff, bought all their produce, prepped. He waited till they're right about to pull the trigger on the biggest payday. For those of you not familiar with the restaurant business, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day is one of the biggest paydays for all restaurants. Biggest tips, the biggest money is flowing. People celebrate Mother's Day, New Year's Day, and New Year's Eve, the biggest paydays for these type of businesses. He pulled the rug out from underneath them the night before New Year's Eve. You couldn't write a better strategy. You couldn't write a better strategy to harm the industry. You couldn't do it better. He had the data months before. He could have warned them, hey guys, don't stock up for New Year's. Restrictions are coming, they're on the horizon. Don't shoot yourselves in the foot. He let them shoot themselves in he sabotaged them. And then not only that, he says, okay, he's gonna pick up some of the bill. That means we gotta pay for it, taxpayers. Canada was the 5th happiest country in the world before COVID. We were number 5, now we are number 14. We dropped 9 spots. Canadians, wake up. Wake up. Most countries are not doing what we're doing. We're one of the most strictest countries and the result is the same. The death rate is the same. Death rate in Canada has not gone up. Guys, we had more deaths in Canada in 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, greater than 2020. The death rate has not gone up in 2020, 2021. Death rate is the same. Use personal responsibility. That's my own 2 cents. We don't have public debate here in Quebec, so what can I do? The best I can do is come up with my own 2 cents. Some of you are going to say, Coach, you're not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. You didn't let me talk to doctors. You didn't allow us to cross-examine. You didn't allow us to have doctors have a panel and discuss. Only in the US they do it. Only in the US. Here, you get a strike, you're reprimanded, and my favorite is Legault says, no public debate because I don't want to expose Quebecers to conspiracy theories. He thinks we're too stupid. We're too stupid to listen to experts debate his sanitary measures. We're too dumb, guys. Canadians, Quebecers, Legault thinks we're too dumb. The truth of the matter is his sanitary measures are insanity. Did you hear the latest one? You can go to you can go to a bar with booze and music. You can crowd in a bar. You can mix in a bar, no problem. No dancing though. When the music is blasting, if the girl dances, you're gonna get COVID. The COVID is gonna go for something about shaking your hips is gonna spew COVID in the air and it's gonna what insanity, what stupidity. How are they gonna enforce it? How are you gonna enforce no dancing? How? Explain to me. Nonsense after nonsense. It's insulting. You're insulting our intelligence. The Quebecers are acting crazy during businesses, but they're doing it because they're scared. They're scared that they're gonna get fined. Anyways, Garo, thank you for having me today in your restaurant. I really hope things.
Thank you for the support.
Sorry for the rant, guys. I know I'm furious. Garo and me, we're furious, man. We're looking at the world the way it is now. His son, Garo had a son 2 years ago. His son has been in quarantine his entire life. His entire life. He's never been out and about, play dates and this and that. His entire life. Garo's son has 2 children. God bless. His son has been quarantined his entire life. We want to go back to normal, guys. Come check it out. Check it out. What's the address again?
1625
Daniel Johnson, guys. Let's pump this place up. Come have breakfast. Thank you.
Thank you.